It uses grammar, it uses vocabulary, it uses the normal rules, of human communication, grammar and punctuation and language and all those kinds of things. And so that's what I was saying earlier, when we read the Bible, we should assume that we can understand it because God is very kind. He stooped down and spoke in our language. And it was written by men. This is an interesting thing when it comes to interpreting scripture. It was written by men who were not automatic writers. There's this pagan practice called automatic writing where, this is like Edward Casey and people like that. They go into a trance and they start writing and they're just gone. No one's home. They're not the one actually writing. It's just like this automatic spiritual mystical process being channeled in by some other spirit, and then they wake up and look at what they've written. It's like, okay, now they had no idea what they were doing. This is not how the men writing scripture work. This is not how God works. He uses men who are different from each other. So you read the Old Testament and you can kind of guess who you're reading if you know the Bible by the tone and the language and you can read the New Testament surely and know, okay, that's got to be Paul because that sentence was like 4 pages long, so that had to have been Paul.
Yeah.
And then you hear John, it's like he says the same thing over and over and over and over again, like in short, punchy, and it's like, okay, that's got to be John. And so these are men that God prepared with their education, with their training, with their background, with their history, with their personality, and they're writing in as they would have written anything. So that's the first thing. And that helps us understand because the rules of grammar, what we call the rules of grammar, apply to the Bible.